I was a pimp for a night while on deployment to Guam.
Wow.
I stole from Walmart hours before I did stand-up for the first time.
Wow.
Living in California during COVID was so bad, I actually enjoyed going to my dad's funeral.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm Cody Troutman, and this is my podcast, The Cody Trout Pod.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Comedic Confessions. Wow. That's my applause button.
Okay.
Yeah, big turnout here. Big turnout. This is Taylor Dunn on the show. Welcome to the show, Taylor.
Thank you.
Taylor is a comedian. He's now in Oklahoma City. Came all the way from California, also in the military. Really interesting guy, fun guy. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So the new format that we've switched over to for you and the viewers is we both submit anonymous confessions. We draw them, and then whoever's it is tells their story, and we get to be oohed and awed by the story. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. We wrote them all down before we started, so I'm going to draw one here. Okay, you read that off, and whatever the story is, we're telling it.
Okay. So this one is mine.
Okay.
The story is I was a pimp for a night while on deployment to Guam.
Wow. There's like 4 amazing details already in there. How did you become a pimp for a night?
Okay.
And what got you out of the biz?
Well, okay. Mind you, I've told my wife this story, so she knows the whole thing. This isn't like
Thank goodness.
So I was on deployment. I was on my second deployment to Guam, which I was with the Seabees at the time, which is construction battalion.
Okay.
I wasn't on a boat. We literally flew over there, built a couple of things, and then 7 months later we left, right?
Okay.
We had the weekends off, and Guam is a U.S. territory. They call it like the world's biggest aircraft carrier because it's literally it takes like 5 hours to drive around the entire island. That's how little it is.
Wow.
It's wee little itty bitty island, and it's like right next to the Marianas Trench, and that's pretty much like the Asian version of Hawaii.
Okay.
So all the like countries over on that side of the world, like China, Japan, the Philippines, they all come to Guam if they want like a tropical vacation.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There's like one little area downtown. It's called Tumon Bay, and that is the party district.
Okay.
And it is just littered with gentlemen's clubs.
Wow.
Now, mind you, I am 22 years old, and I'm happily married, but I don't want to sit in my barracks room on a Saturday night and be bored.
Yeah.
So all of my single military friends are all like, hey, man, let's go to Vikings, which was this real popular strip club downtown. And I said, okay.
Question. So the gentlemen's clubs there, are they a little different than here? Are they a little wilder, or are they still... Oh, they're okay.
I haven't been to one here since then, but I'd gone to a handful in the States before I went out of the country. Like it was like night and day.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to a few when I was in New Orleans when I was like 21.
Yeah.
Completely different type of stuff that you would see in there.
Because the strip clubs I've been to, it's actually like pretty strict. I don't know if I've just gone to the wrong ones, but it's like pretty strict. Like look, no touching. It very specific about which articles of clothing can be on and off. It's a...
Yeah, there's like levels to it. Like I've been in some that were nastier than others. The ones in Guam, like they had like a tier system there.
Okay.
Where there was a really nice place. It was almost like a burlesque club. That's what I would call like a gentleman's club, a strip club, and then a titty bar. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This place wasn't quite a titty bar, but it was almost a strip club. Okay. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Right? It's called Vikings. And they used to contract out to like different countries and stuff. Like you would go in, like every time you would go in there, there'd be a different group of girls working there. They'd have like different accents, all different parts of the world. So the way it would work
Unbelievable.
is you would go in and immediately this older Asian lady that they call Mama San would run up to you and go, oh, I get you pretty girl. And she'll grab you by the shoulders, throw you in a booth, and then put a girl next to you.
Whoa.
And she's like, oh, you get pretty girl drink.
Wow.
So you're sitting there and immediately they're propositioning you for money. And you're
Yeah.
like stuck in the booth. You're trapped, right? Now, normally, I'm just there trying to have a good time with my friends. I'm really just kind of like their wingman.
Yeah.
And I'm letting them have their fun. And I'm just kind of sitting in the back being cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to spend my entire paycheck in there or anything like that. Because I don't want my wife to see, like, why'd you take $400 out at this place in Tumon Bay last night, you know? So I'd sit there and, like, the way it would work is the girl would order a drink and she got $10 of it and the house got the other 10. It'd be $20 for, like, a thimble-sized glass of wine.
Dang, so they had revenue splits on the drink orders.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And, you know, I'd get a couple of drinks and hang out, and some of my buddies would, you know, they'd go up to the stage or they'd be, like, paying for their own private dances and stuff like that. Well, I went one night, and they sat me down with this girl. She was from Australia,
Oh, boy.
and she was gorgeous.
There we go.
Like, brunette. Like, I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, they might get some money out of me tonight. They didn't, but
I wonder, like you said, how did they get these girls from different countries to come work at this, like, random...
they know that they're going to make thousands of dollars over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for them, it's literally just a business trip.
Oh, yeah, for
Wow.
sure.
Okay.
So there was a buddy of mine. He was real stupid. He was like, he was an E6, and all the rest of us were like junior, like E4s and E5s. The fact that he was hanging out with us is technically not allowed, but he couldn't get any of the people of his same pay grade to hang out with him because he was a dumbass.
Quick military lesson. What is E4 and E6? I don't know what those terms mean.
So for the Navy,
Yeah.
which is what I'm in, E3 and below is seaman, airman, constructionman,
Okay.
right? And I mean, it goes into a little bit more of a breakdown. Like when you go to boot camp, you're an E1, you're a seaman recruit.
Okay.
After that, you're a seaman apprentice, and after that, you're just a seaman. And I know it's so funny saying seaman
It is
over and over
really
again. But once you put on E4, you actually get to wear something on your rank tab, and it's this eagle, and it has like a little chevron under it.
There we go.
And then you're a petty officer 3rd class.
Okay.
And then after that, you're an E5, you're a petty officer 2nd class. After that, you're a petty officer 1st class, which is what I am now,
Nice.
E6. And then once the next pay grade is E7, it turns into a gold fouled anchor. Then you're a chief.
Whoa.
So after that, there's a star on top. You're a senior chief.
Wow.
And then after that, there's 2 stars on top of the gold fouled anchor. That's master chief. And that's E9.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you wanting to stay in and get all the way to Master Chief, or what's your...
I want to stay in until retirement, but
Okay.
my goal is to just be a senior chief.
Okay.
Just because it is so cool to like when people come up to me and they ask me like, hey, what is your, like, they want to ask me a question respectfully, they say, hey, LS1, because that's my rate. I'm a logistics specialist.
Okay.
And then 1 is for petty officer 1st class. So, hey, LS1, that's how they get my attention.
Gotcha.
Right. Everything after that is just chief. But when you know, like, hey, chief, you mind? Like, that's how I would talk to him. But when you put on senior chief, you can just say, hey, senior. And they'll turn around. And there's something about it that just sounds cool. Because you don't just go, hey, master, to a master chief. You know, you got to say, hey, master chief. Like, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it gets more and more complicated. It's one of those things that you got to really be rooted in to, like, really understand it all the way. But, anyways.
Yeah,
so,
I sidetracked it.
No,
Sorry,
no. It's fine.
Curious.
So, yeah, this guy, he was an E6, complete dumbass. And he was making all this new money now because he just put on E6.
Yeah.
He couldn't hang out with anybody of his own pay grade, and he was really a dweeb. Like, he could not get girls to talk to him for what. So this Australian girl, she's sitting next to me and, you know, very, very friendly. And I'm telling her that I'm married, you know, and everything. And she's like, oh, that's nice. We're talking back and forth. And I'm like, you know what? She's cool. I bought her a drink, you know, just to be nice because I understand her hustle.
Gotcha.
And she's like, well, you know, I'm having such a good time. Like, would you maybe want to come into the back room? And I look at her and I'm like, miss, I'm not going to spend any money in here tonight for real. I was like, I'll buy drinks and stuff like that. I was like, but I'll tell you what. I was like, you see that fucking dumbass right there? I was like, that dude just got promoted a few weeks ago, and I'm willing to bet you that if you go over there and talk to him like you're talking to me, he is going to bankrupt himself. And she goes, okay, I really appreciate that. And sure enough, she walks over there, and for the next 2-3 hours, she's over there talking to him, and then they go to the private room, and then they come back, and she's like doing dances just for him right in front of the stage, and I see him walk to that ATM, come back, and he was just still kept going. At the end of the night, she comes by and says, thank you, and hands me $200.
No way. Wow.
Yep.
What a hustler move. So you profited by going to the strip club.
Yeah, it was
cool.
so funny. Yeah. And then he got demoted like right after that.
Unrelated or for that?
No, not for that.
He
got hit for fraternization. He was sleeping with somebody of a pay grade, 2 pay grades lower than him.
Oh.
Yeah. There's rules on like based off like I couldn't go sleep with an E9 because then, you know, because stuff happens at the top, it could really like give me an advantage.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like one up, one down.
Gotcha. And how public do you have to make your relationship? So say like E6, like if you were single, you're dating another person of E6. Are you guys just allowed to date and it's cool, or do you have to like file a bunch of paperwork? How?
If I'm a single E6 and there's another single E6, and as long as our relationship doesn't affect our work environment, it's completely fine.
Gotcha.
Nobody cares. There's a couple of people I work with who met at the squadron and are married.
Wow.
Now. Yeah. Like last name changed and everything. Yeah, E6 to E6 is fine. It's only okay for you to date somebody who's an E7 if you started dating them before they put on E7.
Oh, gotcha. So you had to start within like the same.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Man. So, okay. On the story. So you make the $200. Are you being like, hey, that was a great time. I made out good. I'm moving on. Or are you going back and you're like, hey, you and you, come here. We got 3 over here. I need 10%.
I did it one more time. Yeah. And I never like told her that I expected anything, but like now we were friends.
She knew.
Like as soon as I'd walk in, she'd do like that at me and I'd be like, hey, and I'd point and be like, this is the one.
Yeah.
And she would just immediately start working on them. And the next time, the guy didn't spend nearly as much money, so she only gave me $50. But
still,
like we had like a thing running there for a little bit, and it was cool. And then we went back again, and she didn't work there anymore. She went back to Australia.
Oh man, she was smart. She would have came to Oklahoma, and you guys could have set up a racket.
Oh yeah,
I bet in Australia. I've never even met an Australian girl in real life. I bet in Oklahoma
she was cool.
Would crush.
Yeah, she was really, really cool. And like I said, I mean, she was a smoke show. There were some people working at this strip club that really didn't need to be working there. Like there's this one lady, she was like insanely skinny. And like, I guess she knew the owner or something. And that was like her lifelong dream. She always wanted to dance.
Whoa.
And I remember being kind of inebriated one night and trying to whisper, but saying it way too loud. Like I was like, God damn, they let a Halloween decoration up on stage. And she was not happy about that.
That's funny. I know what you mean though, because like I haven't been to strip clubs like around, but I've been to a few around here, and I feel like there's always a ratio of there's a couple women working that you're like, are you just like bad at hustling? Like you could get a rich husband right now. Like you don't need to be here. What do you know?
I mean, there's like a for real art form to it. Like I've been to some of the strip clubs where you're like sometimes they're just dancing and they're just getting naked. Like, right, got it. That's like what you expect to get there. But when you go to like ones where they're using their upper body strength to like literally hit a parallel on the bar.
I have seen videos of that. Yeah.
Or like they're able to hold themselves up on the ceiling and do a split on the ceiling. And I'm just like,
that's crazy.
Like they do that type of stuff in Atlanta all the time.
Oh, I bet like Atlanta, Vegas, like I bet those places have like crazy.
Yeah, you got to be talented to work there.
Yeah. I bet I couldn't even get in the door. I bet there's expensive covers and net worth checks.
Yeah,
Dang.
for sure.
incredible first story. That was
Thank you.
okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for a second one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna draw again. I think these are yours. I want to hear another. Do shuffle. Do this one.
I stole from Walmart hours before I did stand up for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big day. Okay. I got all this adrenaline. Might as well use it.
Well, okay. So the first time I ever did stand up, I was born and raised in Wetumpka, Alabama, right? Little bitty, small little town.
Did they have a scene there?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. I guess I should let you tell the story. Sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. They do have a comedy club. They have like 2 or 3 now, but at the time, I mean, this was in 2012. So
Okay.
there was one comedy club
Yeah.
in the state,
Oh, wow.
Stardome Comedy Club in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where I started, right? And I didn't know what I was doing, but I had this book. It was like How to Get Into Stand-Up Comedy by Judy Carter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's even written like a new one for like the modern age, but this first one she wrote in like 1990.
Wow.
And the club was around then. And I went through and found Alabama on there, and this was the comedy club. And I looked it up online, and I was like, oh, this place is still open. And, you know, I'm like learning how to get into stand-up from this book. And it's like, see if you can sign up for an open mic. So the way they did it was you called and you were like, hey, I want to sign up for open mic. And they go, okay, how does June 27th sound?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was like a month in advance.
Okay.
Right?
Like individual call-ins. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And I went and told my mom and my girlfriend. I was like, I booked my first gig. And
There we
they
go,
were like,
baby.
They were like, what are you going to talk about? And I wouldn't tell them. I was like, that's part of the surprise. Don't.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Right? So I have like a month to come up with a 5-minute set.
Yeah.
Right? And I had done like theater in high school and stuff like that. That was really like my introduction to like writing and performing on stage. Is I used to write like comedic monologues.
Oh, cool.
When I was in theater in high school, and that was how I like decided like I think I want to get into comedy. But you know, as the month's going on, I'm getting nervous. I'm like, okay, it's coming up. You know, like I really want to do good because it was competition based.
Oh my gosh.
So if you won, you got put on a bigger show at the main stage later in the year. So
Dude, for a first set, this is like really intense.
So the day of the show, I wake up and I remember I had a camcorder kind of like this. Obviously, it was a lot not as cool as that one. I had a camcorder like that, and I had a doctor's voice recorder.
Oh, nice.
Because this is before like cell phones could record audio like they can now. And I was like, I want to have something so I can listen to my set as well as like watch it on the video. Because this is all like notes that I've taken, like how to make sure your next set is better and all this stuff. I didn't have any batteries.
Oh, shoot.
So it was like an hour before we were supposed to get in the car and drive up to Birmingham. And I went into Walmart. I had no money.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I need some AAA batteries. So I went and I picked up a pack. And I just kind of walked around the store, you know, looking, because all I needed was 3.
Yeah.
And I went over to the clothing section, and I like very nonchalantly started opening up the pack, you know. I'm like looking around to see if anybody's looking, you know, okay, coast is clear. And I slide a few into my back pocket, and then I hear this voice go, I know you weren't thinking about stealing that.
No.
Yeah. I turn around, and it's like this angry white dude looking at me, and he's wearing a button-down shirt and a tie.
Oh my god!
And he works at Walmart, you know. And he looks pissed.
How did he even see you? That's incredible.
They had these things called secret shoppers.
Oh,
and
I've heard of that.
Other kids were telling me about it. How like if a group of teenagers came into Walmart, they just have this random dude dressed as a civilian, I guess, and he would just kind of follow him around the store.
Wow.
And it had never really ever happened to me, but I guess, yeah, he was just one of the people decided to follow me. So I got caught.
Dang.
And they take me up to the front of the store, and they're like, making copies of my ID.
Oh, I would have been shitting myself.
Yeah, I'm freaking out because I'm thinking like they're going to call the cops.
Oh, fuck.
And then I'm going to have to explain this to my mom, who is my ride up to Birmingham to do the show.
Oh, so she's in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But they were like, you can never come in this Walmart again. And I was like, okay. You know? But luckily they let me go. I got in the car. I didn't say anything. I didn't have the batteries that I needed for the camera, but yeah, it was, it sucked.
Dang.
But I guess that kind of, like, I got so stressed out when that happened, it kind of alleviated my anxiety going into the show. So when I got there, I was kind of relaxed. And it was, again, the very first time I ever did stand up. I did 5 minutes. I had to sign an NDA saying that I would not cuss on stage. That's the type. Yeah.
Gosh.
You had to be squeaky clean.
Wow.
And like any cuss words whatsoever, you immediately would like lose your chance of the competition to move forward. And then on top of all of that, my dad shows up with his new wife. I haven't seen him in like 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just a wild ride of a day.
What a day.
Him and his wife, they sat right up in the front row.
Oh.
And it's my mom, my girlfriend, my dad, his wife in a room that sat maybe 50, 55 people.
Your whole set is just like about how your dad is a deadbeat you haven't seen in 7 years.
No, it was like I forget, I was extremely skinny at the time.
Yeah.
And I had a huge Adam's apple. And I remember that
Whoa.
being like one of my first jokes was like how everybody made fun of my Adam's apple. I have it on YouTube still, the very first set I ever did. I'll send it to you after this if you want to watch it. But yeah, cool. I ended up winning and I got to do it. Yeah, I ended up, because I was like,
you won?
Yeah, I was 10 years younger than everybody else on the show.
Holy shit.
Everybody else was like 28, 29. And here I am. I'm a kid. Like I'm 18 years old. And yeah, it got me the show on the big stage in November of that year. And I got 3rd place on that show.
Dude, that's really impressive.
Yep, I did that. And then I didn't do stand up again for like 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Why'd you take such a long break? Was it just access?
Well, I mean, again, I was 18, and if you go and do stand-up your very first time, and you do, like most people, they bomb their very first time.
I definitely did.
Imagine being 18 and winning a competition.
Yeah.
The size of my head could not have been any bigger. I had it on video. So I was able to like post it to YouTube and stuff like that. I was able to like, I came into work the very next day and plugged it into one of the TVs because I worked at the sports bar and grill.
Hell yeah.
And like all the employees came out and watched it and everybody like clapped.
Wow.
Like, so I had the biggest head and I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be Shane Gillis in like a year.
yeah, I'm going to be a star.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't really need to take things seriously right now. And I kind of had that attitude for about 2-3 years after this, where I literally just like I worked at the sports bar and grill, and I just did drugs with all of the employees. And that's all I cared about doing. You know, I was kind of still living in that never-ending summer mindset after high school.
Oh, dude, been there. I get it.
I started going to a local college there in Montgomery with no intention of really finishing. It was just like, okay, I'm going to do this so my parents stay off of my back until I become a famous comedian.
Yeah.
And that caught up with me pretty quick. Also got arrested.
Oh, no.
Like a few months after this. And yeah, that definitely kind of put a halt on things. So I ended up getting a job at a radio station.
Wait, what'd you get arrested for?
Possession, marijuana.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. This was.
I'm imagining at that time they're pretty strict in Alabama.
Oh, yeah. They still are.
They still are?
Oh, yeah. You get caught with like half a gram of weed. That's how much I got caught with.
That is not much.
Yeah, it was half a gram. And it was with another girl that I worked with that I ended up dating for a little while, but that's a whole different story. But
she's now in Guam at Vikings.
No, I don't know where she is. But yeah, I ended up getting arrested for possession of marijuana.
Dang.
And at the time, it was like I ended up spending 4 days in jail.
Oh my gosh.
For that. And that was more of my parents' punishment to me than anything. They were just like, because what I did was I went to jail with her. She got arrested too because like I had some in my pocket. She had some in her center console. We got pulled over because she was going like 50 in a 25.
Oh, shoot.
And yeah, they took us to jail.
It just like builds. Like they pull you over. They're like, we smell weed. You're like, oh my God. It just builds and builds. Damn.
Yeah. And she was older than me. I was 18. She was 21. Nice. And I was, you know, again, that big head from, you know,
that's
like,
pretty baller.
This dude's going to be a star. You know? And she was digging it. And
she's like, play the YouTube video again.
Yeah. She had gone with me to another open mic before this happened.
Yeah.
And I bombed so bad.
Oh, no.
But she didn't care. She still like just thought it was interesting.
Hell yeah. Ride or die.
But yeah, so when we got to jail, she immediately called her dad, and he was up there within an hour to pick her up.
Oh, man.
Like, bailed her out, like, boom. She never made it past, like, the initial booking area.
Dang.
And she was like, I'm going to turn around and get you out. I'm going to get you out. And I was like, okay. My stepdad at the time knew people at the jail. And you know, when I didn't show up at like 1 a.m, my parents started calling like, hey, all right, let's see where he's at.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't picking up my phone. And sure enough, they finally got the Elmore County Police Department on the phone, and they were like, oh, yeah, he just got arrested.
Oh, no.
So I'm like calling my friends' parents, like, hey, can you come get me? Because I'm trying to avoid telling my parents what happened. And because I waited so long to call them, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I finally got them on the phone. I was like, hey, and my stepdad's like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm in jail. And he's just like, all right, well, since you waited so long to call us, we're going to let you sit in there for a bit. And he hung up the phone. And I didn't know how long that was going to be. They ended up putting me in the drunk tank.
Oh, God.
Because I was intoxicated with a dude that had just robbed a liquor store.
Jesus.
And then
you and that guy are sitting there and you're like, brother, I robbed a Walmart when I was 18.
Yeah. He was freaking out in there. And I'm just like laying up against the wall. Like, I think I've ruined my entire life moving forward.
You're like, you think you've got it bad. I'm banned from the Birmingham Walmart. Dang. So you're sitting there with the guy.
I ended up going into Gen Pop.
Oh, shoot.
With people that had been in there for like 2 years.
I would be terrified.
And they're like, what are you in here for? And I was like, possession. They were like, how much? And I was like, half a gram. And everybody would just laugh.
Oh,
you know?
No.
And yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, I just tried to entertain everybody as much as possible. You know, there were some people that were like, don't talk to him. You know?
Yeah.
And I just kept trading my food for like safety.
Nice.
Because I mean, I weighed probably 115 pounds.
Oh,
like
dang.
One shot, I was going down, right? And I had like the Justin Bieber haircut and stuff.
Boy.
Like, I was probably the prettiest thing a lot of them had seen in a while. So I was like, hey man, do you want my breakfast? Do you want my lunch? And then as it like started getting close to dinner time, one of them was like, hey dude, you probably should eat something.
Dang.
Because if you don't, and one of these dudes decides to beat the shit out of you, you want to have as much strength as you have.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, okay, so I finally ate my first, you know. And that's all they do is like, hey, do you want your food? You want your food? Like, it's like pelicans. They just immediately come up to you and they're like, hey, do you want your sandwich? So,
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was day one. Did you know that you were going to have to sweat it out for 4 days, or was every hour you're just like, are they going to come pick me up?
It was literally like the guards would come by and be like, have my parents called?
Oh,
and
no.
They were like, no.
Oh.
And yeah, by like the 4th day, I was like, fuck, what if I'm in here until my court date?
Oh, shit.
Because my court date was like months in advance. And that's how it works. If nobody comes bails you out, you stay in jail until somebody comes to get you.
Oh, my God.
And I'm wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? And mind you, me and this girl, we weren't dating.
Yeah.
I was still dating my girlfriend that went with me to the comedy club for the first time.
Oh, shoot.
So now she's finding out that I was hanging out with another girl, got arrested with her.
Ooh, that's tough.
And she's still in high school. I'm 1 year, like, graduated.
No.
So I remember, like, going up to one of those phones and calling her and knowing she's getting a notification on her phone that says Elmore County Jail. And she didn't answer. I was like, fuck. You know, it was terrible. But when my mom finally come to get me, my bail was like $150. And I just boohoo sobbed. When I got in the car, I was like, I'm so sorry.
Dude, I would have too.
And then miraculously, she took me to my place of work, that sports bar and grill, shout out Coach's Corner. They're still open to this day.
Hell yeah.
She took me in there, and the girl that I got arrested with, we got arrested in the parking lot of the sports bar and grill.
Damn.
And in a small town, everybody's just like, you know, they all hear about stuff happening. So she was already back to work.
Oh my gosh.
But then, you know, they were all like, where is Taylor? And she had to tell them, like, yeah, we got arrested, like, in the parking lot. So
Why didn't she come back? She said she would come get you. Why
because
didn't
my
she come get
stepdad told the cop that worked there, like, whenever I left out that one part, is he knew a cop that worked at the jail and told him, he was like, don't let anybody else come get him.
Oh, shit. He wanted you to sit on it.
Because he knew I was going to call all my friends, and somebody's mom would have come up there and bailed me out. And he was like, nope, don't let anybody come get him.
Wow. That is hardcore.
And I just basically I asked my boss, I was like, do I still have a job here? He was like, well, he's like, you've been a real good employee this entire time, and I get people make mistakes. So I ain't going to fire you, but I am going to suspend you and her for a week. And I was like, whew, okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. That is intense.
Yeah.
Man, what a story. I mean, robbing the Walmart, crushing the competition, then Johnny Law caught up
They
with
did.
you.
Yep.
I just imagine like 18-year-old you at this competition doing comedy. This thought just occurred to me. You're the 18-year-old kid at this competition. Everybody else is nervous. And you're like, I just committed a crime. Yeah.
Okay.
You're sitting you're like, I'm a hardened criminal. Like the stage doesn't worry me, man. You know? Oh, that's so funny.
Yep.
Wow. And then when you got arrested, how soon was that after this competition? It couldn't have been more than like a year, right?
No, it was like within the next month.
Oh my gosh, that quick. Whoa.
I just started my first like week of college. Like it was literally like July. It was June 27th was the first time I did stand up. I started school the first week of August at Huntington College, and I got arrested on August 8th.
Oh.
And so like I'd missed class and everything. Damn. And I come to school and it's just like, what the fuck? You know?
You come back to school like, Miss Stevenson, sorry I was absent Monday. Yeah. I was in prison.
Yeah, I was in jail. But yeah, like nothing really came of it. And the only thing that I had to do was I was in Alabama. There's this thing called youthful offender where if you get a misdemeanor, it's your first one at 18. They don't put it on your record.
Okay.
So I ended up getting my license suspended for 6 months. And instead of going to court, I handled everything through the court magistrate office.
Okay.
Which is basically it's just an admission of guilt, and you got to pay a big ass fine. It was like, all in all, I think it was like $1,700.
Damn, that's crazy.
Which for me at 18,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that was like $17,000 now. But I did end up paying it off, and I got my license back, and I still kept smoking weed and doing bad shit all the time. And then it just became less about getting into stand-up. It became more about just survival. Yeah. You know, I started working at a radio station not too long after that, and that was cool because that was like, oh, well, I'll just get into radio. And everybody, even in 2012, was like, there's no money in radio. And, you know, I was like, oh, I'll just do this until I become a comedian. I'll just do this. And then 2 years of that mindset passes, and now I'm 20, and I'm starting to look around and I'm like, everybody else that works here is a loser. You know, like, I'm like, fuck. Like, because all your other coworkers weren't high school kids anymore because they were either joining the military or in college.
Yeah.
So all the people that worked there are like these 32-year-old drug addicts. And I'm like, you know, what? I got to do something. I got to do something. And what led me to join the military was a buddy of mine. He decided he was going to join the Navy. And, you know, my parents were just like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And they were charging me rent to live there.
Oh.
And
that's when it gets real.
Yeah. Best thing they could have done for me, though, because it really, like, it gave me that sense of urgency. Like, okay, I got to figure something out now because what I'm doing now is not working.
Yeah.
And I wanted to join the Air Force, but I could not because I got arrested when I was 18.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the Air Force is very strict on who they'll take.
Whoa.
Yeah, it really, like, there's like a tier system to it. Like, how hard is it to join each branch? The Air Force at the time was super overmanned, and it had like the highest requirements to get in. And then it was like under them was the Navy, and under that was the Army, and under that was the Marine Corps.
I didn't know the Marines was easier to join the Army. Whoa.
Because they have some of the most dangerous jobs. I don't know what it is now, but at the time, like, all of the branches were in this one shopping center. And I went and talked to the Air Force for months. And the guy just like, well, we need your high school transcript. So I'd go get that, come back, and be like, well, now we need your medical records. And I'd go get that and come back, and then they wouldn't be there. Just, it was always like, because I was ready to go. At the time, at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out something now. And the Air Force, like, in the meantime, I'm stacking like all of my required documents in the back of my car. And eventually I just get to a point where I'm like, dude, the Air Force is just, they're fucking me over. I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'd already taken my ASVAB through the Air Force, everything. And my buddy was joining the Navy. I'll never forget it. We were in GameStop.
Oh, nice.
And his recruiter was in there. I don't know if they had set it up like that or what, but his recruiter was in there, and he was like, hey, come talk to me for a second.
Whoa.
And he's like, what do you want to do? And at the time, again, super naive, I'm like, I don't know, maybe be like a pilot. And he was like, well, shit, you know, the Navy's got more airplanes than the Air Force does. And I was like, really?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
It's a little bit smaller aircraft, but yeah, the Navy has the biggest population of aircraft of any of the branches.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. He's like, well, what else? If you couldn't be a pilot, what would you do? And I was like, I don't know, maybe be like a medic or something like that. And he'd be like, oh yeah, you could be a corpsman. He's like, yeah, you'd love that. And corpsman is still a very sought after rate. It's literally like, there's different tiers to it. I mean, you could be just working as like an administrator in a hospital on base, or you could be a combat medic with the Marines.
Oh,
yeah. It really just depends on where your career takes you.
It sounds like this guy was a great salesman, though. He's like, whatever you want to do.
You got to be to be a recruiter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to be in a, like, I always tell people, like, I could be a recruiter in a small town, blow everybody else out of the water. Like, don't you want to get out of here? That's your number one selling point. And that was it for me, too. It was like, I have to get out of here. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to make an honest living. Like, I got to get out of here. And, cause like everything was just like drying up, and I was like, this sucks, dude. I don't want to live in Alabama my whole life. And yeah, he kind of convinced me, and I ended up, they were like, well, we need this paperwork, this paperwork, this paperwork. And I was like, here you go. You know? So it was relatively easy. There was one point where, because I got arrested, there was no court record.
Okay.
So they were like, we need your court documents. There wasn't any because we never went to court.
Yeah.
And he went to the court magistrate office and started asking the lady for it. And apparently they got into an argument.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, hey, so unfortunately you may not ship out next week. And I'm like, dude, I've done set up my entire life around leaving for boot camp on this date.
Oh.
and you're telling me that you can't get this piece of paper that doesn't exist, and that's going to hinder me from doing that. He's like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to go up here one time and talk to this lady and see if I can get her to give it to me. If she doesn't, I'm walking into the Marine Corps office and I will join. Because the Marines, it's like, we just could put in a guy that has Grand Theft Auto on his record, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I went down there and I told her, like, ma'am, I've made a lot of like really bad mistakes in my life. I'm trying to be on the right track. I want to join the military. I was like, I got arrested in 2012. All I need is some form of documentation stating that I'm good with the government here. I don't owe any money.
Yeah.
And she just printed me off a receipt. And I was like, thank you so much. And yep, that was all we needed.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Golly. I swear, like, paperwork and, like, bureaucracy really gunks up the gears of everything.
Yeah.
Of business, government. My gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That's like, because we ran the medical marijuana grow for a few years, and the paperwork and administrative side of it
I can imagine.
a hassle. Oh my gosh. Man, great story though. Holy crap. That was a really cool, man, a lot happened in your life in that very short span.
Yeah. I didn't start doing stand-up again until after my first deployment.
Wow.
And I'm married. I have a kid now.
So it's all changed.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was not even thinking about doing it again. And my mother-in-law, I got back from my first deployment to Rota, Spain, and we were out to dinner, and she was like, oh, look what popped up on my, memories thing on Facebook. And it's me doing stand-up.
Wow.
She's like, what happened to you doing that? And I was like, yeah, what did happen to me doing that?
Damn.
And yeah, I was living in Biloxi, Mississippi at the time, and there was nowhere to go do stand-up. So the only time I would ever do stand-up would be when I would go home on leave.
Okay.
So it'd be like every 6 months I'd do one open mic, So I wouldn't even
grind.
feel comfortable telling people like, yeah, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing it enough.
Yeah.
And I picked orders in 2019 to go out to San Diego because I knew there'd be a bigger comedy scene there.
Yeah.
And that was like my goal is like, okay, when I get to San Diego, I'm really going to run for it. And I get to San Diego in September of 2019, completely different world, right? I'd done stand-up a handful of times. I'd probably say I've probably done it maybe 10 times total from 18 to 22, 23.
Yeah.
And so when I get there, I sign up for a class. And I was like, well, I've done it a few times, but this would be a good way to network.
Yeah.
And I sign up for a 6-week course, and it's in a comedy club. And then they do it at the end, they do a big graduation show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's free for people to come to, and everybody does their best 5 minutes. And I'll never forget it because it was packed comedy club.
That's
right?
sick.
In California, and I go out and I do 5 minutes. And like when you're in the middle of a set and you realize to yourself like, oh, I'm doing really good right now. That like golden tingle feeling you get.
We were like, whoo, I'm kind of in the pocket.
Yeah. That is what made me like start going for it even harder.
Yeah.
And then within a few months, like I'm booking crazy shit. Like I'm getting in good with a lot of the comedians around town, still doing open mic, but the edge that I have is that I'm a veteran.
Oh yeah. That can help.
Active duty veteran, same
Yeah.
concept. There is a network called Vet TV.
Okay.
And all of their content is made by military members, by veterans, and all this stuff. And they are shooting a series called Mandatory Fun.
Whoa.
Right? It's brand new. I go to the filming of it. It's in a small little underground spot, and it's all these like really good comedians they're all local to San Diego, but they're good, and they talk about being in the military. And I go to the release party at the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Damn.
On March 13th, 2020.
Oh no.
That same night, the LA Comedy Store had closed because of COVID. And everybody was weird. Everybody was like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. And I remember they were like just spritzing stuff down, like wiping down the mics, And they came up to me and they're like, hey, we hear you're in the Navy and you're a stand-up. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, how do you feel about auditioning for season 2? I'm like, dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll wait till the 2-week thing. Like, we'll see what goes on with that.
2 weeks to flatten the curve, baby.
But they were like, yeah, we're thinking like maybe late April, you'll come in, audition, which we're sure you're going to get it.
Wow.
And, yeah, we'll probably shoot it late May, early June, and we're going to give you $1,500 to do 15 minutes.
Whoa.
And it'll be on a streaming app.
That is sick.
So I'm thinking like, oh, this is too good to be true. And then the earth shuts down. And it goes from 2 weeks to a month to 45 days to 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year.
Oh.
The only thing you can do is go to the grocery store.
Golly.
And there were like big name acts like Taylor Tomlinson. She's from San Diego.
Okay.
There were days like when they finally were like, okay, you can do stuff outside. They set up in the alleyway behind the La Jolla Comedy Store, and Taylor Tomlinson had like sold it out.
Whoa.
Just to do in the alleyway. Like it was behind a fucking dumpster.
Holy
right?
shit.
And the comedy clubs were starting to snitch on each other, being like, oh, they're running shows. They're not social distancing.
Oh, my God.
And getting shows canceled.
Dude, holy shit.
And it was, it was terrible. And I remember I went back to that comedy club in Birmingham in November of 2020. I got booked on a show called, it was something like some church group put it together.
Yeah.
And I had to be squeaky clean, but I got to do a show on the main stage.
There we go.
Completely packed.
Oh, just people everywhere.
Yeah, and again, it was like a gospel show, so I was the only white dude there.
Oh, wow.
And mind you, I haven't done stand-up in like 8 months.
Dang.
But, I got to perform for a black room, which that club kind of always was, but not like this. Like I was like, oh shit, I'm the only white dude here. And I think I ended up finishing 3rd for that show.
Oh, it was a competition again?
Yeah.
And they do a lot of competitions.
Yeah, the dude that won, he had drove down all the way from New York for the same reasons. Like I can't do stand-up up there, so we're just on the road, kind of in the South, anywhere that's open.
Dang.
And I was like, damn. And it stayed like that for like another year out in San Diego. And it was terrible. It was like some of the worst depression I've ever been in, because it was like, when are we going to get out of this? And the whole time, like, I'm friends with people that live in Florida and live in Alabama, and everything is open.
Yeah.
And, dude, it was so bad to the point I actually wrote this down as a potential talking point. If you want to make me stop so you have a chance to go,
I was saying like, I'm having such a good time. Let's tell your last story if you want. Do you want to just tell that, and this is our final story?
Yeah.
The one, let's do that.
Okay. So
read off the juicy headline. That'll kick it off for us.
So living in California during COVID was so bad, I actually enjoyed going to my dad's funeral.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is intense.
So,
is this the dad that left you in jail, or that was stepdad?
That was stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it's like January 2021.
Yeah.
And I am miserable. Like we had gone on this trip back to Alabama. Best leave I've ever taken.
Yeah.
The entire time I've been in the Navy was the freedom that we got going back to Alabama for 3 weeks, just going to eat in restaurants, and like nobody cared about masks or anything. Like everything was like just open and free. And then we had to go back to California, and it was like level 12 shutdown. Like the attitudes were so different, and we were miserable. It was causing a lot of issues, like just between me and my wife, because we were under so much stress.
Oh my gosh.
And, I'm already like bought on the idea, like, I got to get out of here. Like, we have to leave California.
Yeah.
And then in January of 2021, I get a phone call from my sister, and it's her fiance on the phone, and she tells me, hey, our dad passed away. And I hadn't seen him in years. I didn't have much of a relationship with him, like at all, growing up. Him and my mom, they split up before I was born.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, he never paid child support, anything like that growing up. I visited him quite a few times throughout the years. Because it was supposed to be I visited him every 2 weeks. Instead, I was visiting my grandparents.
Oh.
Because he was in and out of jail.
Oh.
Yeah, he lived a wild lifestyle. And that was ultimately what caused his untimely passing. He was a drug addict. He apparently, so this is juicy details in the story. So the night of his passing, he was hanging out with a friend who we believe was also a woman of the night.
Oh, okay.
This woman did not look like the Australian girl that I'm talking about. Yeah, I actually talked to her after the fact because we were like, what happened? You know? And it was like being a detective, like going back and like going through like the camera footage around the house and like figuring everything out. Yeah. But he was spending the evening with this lady, and they were just like watching a movie, hanging out in the bedroom, and apparently he was laughing so hard about something happening on the TV that he fell off the bed.
Oh, shoot.
This is the story that I got from her. He had fallen off the bed, and she was like, okay, well, I guess he's done passed out, because they were like smoking crack or whatever. And she got up and left. And then it was the next afternoon is when my sister went over there to check on him, and he was still on the floor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So whenever I got the phone call.
Wait, so was he, by the time she got there, had he already died?
Oh, yeah. He had been dead for hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, when I got the initial phone call, to be honest with you, I kind of saw that being how I found out that he had passed, because I knew that's the type of lifestyle that he was living.
Yeah.
And I kind of made peace with that. Like, well, you know, nothing I tell him is going to change how he acts or anything like that. And I don't really feel like I'm in the place to. So that's his life. I'll be there as much as I can when it does happen. And, you know, my sister was a lot closer to him than I was. She was actually like working with him at the time. But I got the phone call. They told me that he passed, and I was like, okay. I was like, what do you need help with? And she was like, I don't know what to do. She was like, I could just really use you here to help out as much as you can. And I saw it as like, okay, well, are you saying I get to come to Alabama for a couple of days?
Yeah. You're like, I would love to be there for months to support you.
Yeah.
You know?
But obviously that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, okay, I'll come into town for a few days, just help out with things around the house and, you know, get affairs in order as much as I can. And yeah, I literally, whenever somebody passes away, especially when it's like an immediate blood relative for a military member, you can actually send a Red Cross message to yourself. I've had to do it twice, for my grandmother and for my dad. And basically, it trumps everything.
Okay.
To where you can be on a aircraft carrier out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and if you get that Red Cross message comes across your CO's desk, and he's like, oh shit, Ellis-1 Dunn's father passed away, they will immediately send you back to the funeral.
Whoa.
Right? Or your leave will get approved so that you can get off the ship. I wasn't stationed on a ship at the time, so I still had to buy the plane ticket. But at the time, plane tickets were so cheap.
Yeah, that was a nice little golden era.
Plane tickets were cheap. Hotel rooms were cheap. So, like, I took a lot of trips, different places during this time. And, yeah, I flew back home. And I just stayed right there in Birmingham. Ended up, it was so cold. I remember that weekend. It was freezing outside. And I stayed in this hotel, and I just hung out with them the entire weekend, ate with them, drank with them. Like I'm hanging out with their friends and they're all asking me about comedy, which I love talking about that.
Yeah.
So it was honestly like a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Like
you're getting to see people you love, you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. It was.
You're getting out of like this locked down, isolated place.
And I felt guilty like telling people that. Originally they were like, so, how was it? And I was like, it was great. He didn't have a funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't have a funeral for him. He didn't have any like money.
Oh, dang.
So like we didn't have a funeral or anything like that. They didn't do anything for him special, like making him up at the funeral home. We took him to the cheapest place for cremation that we could find.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just took him in there. I got to see him, which if you've ever seen a body that hasn't had anything done to it, it's way different. Like first 48 type shit.
Okay. I've only seen the funerals I've been to, they've like, done the presenting work.
I've seen people that at funerals that look better dead than they did alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, and they literally took him directly from there, cremated him. My sister kept the urn, and then we went over to his house, and I didn't talk about like splitting like his estate with him or anything. They just kind of let me go through and just take anything that I wanted.
Oh, wow.
And I literally just took his wedding ring from his last marriage to his last wife, who had passed from drug use a few months before.
Dang.
And I took a laptop and a shirt. I have a shirt that belonged to my dad, and I wear it sometimes.
Yeah.
And if people are like, "Hey, I really like that shirt," I'm like, "Oh, thank you. It was my daddy's." But yeah, got some good material out of that whole situation. So, yeah,
That's wild, man.
yeah,
I can totally see how it's like, yes, the event itself is tragic, but how the experience of getting to leave this like isolated, difficult place, spend time with family, loved ones, and just in community. Because I think that's something that I realized like when COVID hit is like, man, just eating dinner with friends or being close physically to people you like. It really, humans are social creatures, so it was tough. So I can totally see how even though the event that kicked the catalyst for it was sad, there was positives around it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And going from that to that was what really was like, okay, that's the final straw. I have to get out of California because we don't know when this is going to stop. And I ended up living there for like a whole nother year, which towards the end of 2021 is when I had the idea of getting into show production.
Yeah.
Because I was only doing open mic up until that point. And then it was October of 2021 is when I produced my first show.
Nice.
And from there, it was like that was the biggest shift to where I'm building the show. I'm actually seeing a return on this thing that I've worked at for so long. Like, oh shit, I just made a little bit of money doing comedy.
Yeah, it's like that's new. You know?
And after that, I was off to the races.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. Thanks for coming on. Those were great stories.
Absolutely, man.
I'm going to use this as like the example of, hey, this is how to format, choose, and tell a story. This is great.
Dude, anytime you want to have me back on, I got a mountain of shit that I can sit here and talk about.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thank you, man. I think the new format, because I love good stories, and I think this new format is just like an easy way into those type of good stories. Because it's like, if I want you to tell a good story, I could sit here and be like, do you have any like military stories that might be fun? And you're like, oh, let me think. But if like ahead of time, I'm just, the best headline from my best stories, and then we pick one and go. Like, I think that's I was enraptured. This was fun.
Well, thank you for having me.
welcome.
I can ramble on for hours. Like,
No, it was good. I really loved.
I felt bad because you didn't get to talk that much.
Dude,
but
I get to talk on this thing all the time. And all my solo episodes where I'm talking do the worst. So I think the audience is telling me talk less. Yeah. So this episode's going to be highly successful.
I hope so.
Man, thanks for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Thank you for having me.
Folks, we'll see you next time on Comedic Confessions. One more time for Taylor Dunn, everybody. Oh, studio audience. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, thank
We'll
you.
see you next week.